So we're just getting ready to get started. As always, I just want to make sure that you do have any props or anything that you might need. Some blocks, a strap, or a blanket, even for your knees, because we will be using that a time or two as well. So if you want to get those started, you want to get those close to your mat, and we'll get started. So we're going to start out on our back. If you'd like to take a blanket, if you do have that, you can take that, roll it up and place it lengthways down your mat. Then you're going to lay back onto it. If you happen to have a pillow or a bolster at home instead, you're more than welcome to take that as well. So you're going to take the roll, whatever it is, your blanket, your towel, whatever it is, place it right at the base of your spine, and then just lay back onto it. So you're getting a little bit of opening for your shoulders. Then your legs can either be out straight in front of you, or if you'd like a little bit more, you're welcome to bring your knees out wide and find a bound angle pose. If this is a little bit too intense and you do happen to have blocks, you can take those blocks and place them right underneath your knees for a little support. So just let your shoulders rest onto whatever it is, even if you're just flat on the mat, that's okay. Let your knees gradually relax open, especially if they're out wide. If your legs happen to be out in front, just take your feet to the corners of the mat and let your toes fall open towards the sides of the room. And just be here for a few moments. Start to deepen the breath. Take the tension out of your face, out of your jaw, and really just feel the body expand with the breath. So inhaling all the way in through the nose, and then exhaling all the way out through the nose. So from here, we're going to take a little visualization with the breath. So you're going to inhale your breath all the way in from the tip of your nose. Then you're going to envision a big column of energy, of light, all the way down your body, all the way out to the tips of your toes. So you're going to breathe in from the tip of your nose into your third eye center, that space just between the eyebrows. And then as you exhale, you're pressing that breath down the column of energy, of light that's all the way in your body to the tips of your toes. So again, inhale from the tip of your nose into your third eye center. You might even start to get a little bit of sensation right between the eyebrows. And then as you exhale, let that breath travel all the way down the column, all the way through your hips, to your knees, to the tips of your toes. And continue with that style of breath for a few rounds. Inhale, tip of nose, to the third eye center, and then exhale all the way down to your toes. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath, just like that. Once you're done with that 3rd round of breath, just come back to a normal, even breath. So even count in and out through the nose. Just take a moment, the last few moments here with the breath, to set an intention and awareness of your practice. I personally like to bring in just a personal affirmation. I am happy. I am exactly where I need to be at this exact moment in time. Just let yourself be in that thought for a moment. Let's take a nice big inhale. And then open up your mouth, let it go. As you're ready, roll off the roller. If you did have one out from under your back, just place that blanket off towards the side. You might use it later. So from here, just pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. You can take a couple rocks side to side. Maybe take your knees in a little circle out away from each other. You can even take the knees in circles opposite from each other. Just kind of see where you are this morning with your hips. And then nice inhale. Take your hips slightly towards the right side of the room. Let your knees fall over towards the left. Nice gentle twist here. Let your shoulder blades stay flat to the mat, and then look over towards your right fingertips. So nice full body twist all the way from your lower back, all the way up to the neck as your chin reaches towards your shoulders. Nice big inhale. Exhale, allow the breath to twist you a little bit deeper. Slowly come back through center, shift your hips back to the center of the mat, and then slightly over towards the left side of the room as your knees fall over towards the right. So as your knees fall to the right, let your eyes look towards the left. Keep your chin reaching towards your shoulder, and then just breathe. Inhale, find length all the way through the spine. And then exhale, see where you can twist just a little bit deeper. One more breath. All right, so we're going to take a little core work here. Come back through center and just tabletop your knees. So you're just going to stay here for a moment. Arms out wide and then turn your palms face down. So you're pressing your palms firmly into the mat. Then you're simply going to take a couple twists, side to side. Keep your shoulder blades flat to the mat. And just let your knees reach from one side to the other. You're going to let your hips rotate. So you're rolling from one side of the hip to the other. Use your arms as a counterbalance as you twist. So squeeze, navel to spine. And then inhale back up through center. Exhale, lower the opposite direction. Squeeze. And inhale back through center. Let's do one more time per side. Let your knees lower. Inhale back up. And then let your knees follow the opposite direction. And inhale back up. From here, take your arms like little cactus arms, so elbows in line with your shoulders. Take your feet mat width distance apart. Heels out away from your seat. From here, let your knees once again drop over towards the left side of the mat. From here, I want you to press your knees forward towards the front of your mat and reach your arms towards the back of the mat. Just pause for a moment. We're going to move with the breath, but after this first round. Then as you exhale, come back through center. Bring your elbows back to shoulder height. Bring your knees back to center. And then take it the opposite direction. Lower your knees towards the right. Press your knees forward towards the front of the room. You should feel this nice stretch through the quad, through the hip flexor, and then reach your fingertips. And you'll start to feel it into the side rib cage, maybe even all the way up into your shoulder. Then we're going to move with the breath. So exhale, come back through center. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. Lower down towards the left. Reach your arms. Inhale back through center. Exhale, lower. Inhale back through center. Let's do one more time per side. Exhale, lower, reach. Reach your knees towards the front, your fingertips towards the back. Inhale back. Exhale, lower, reach your knees, reach your fingertips. And then inhale back. Pull your knees up and into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Take your hands back behind your knees and then take a rock and a roll a couple times along the length of your spine. You can let your toes go up and overhead towards the back of the mat. And then once you're ready, bring yourself all the way up and over your knees and into a neutral tabletop position. From here, hands come underneath your shoulders, maybe even a little bit wider if you happen to be a little bit broader in your shoulders. Index fingers should face forward. And if you're broader, once again, maybe your index fingers face a little bit out. Nice full inhale, let your belly drop towards the mat. And then exhale, round your chin to your chest, your navel comes to your spine. Inhale. This time, tuck your toes under, sit your seat a little further back as you lift your eyes towards the ceiling. And then exhale. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, down. And then inhale, look up. And exhale, round cat and cow. One last time. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, lift your shoulders, lift your eyes. And exhale, round chin to chest. All right, from here. Come back into a neutral tabletop pose. Send your right leg towards the back of the room. Point through your toes, so you should find it right in line with your hip. Really square down through the right hip as if you were trying to scissor your legs towards each other. So we're just going to take a little tap. So you're going to look towards the toe as it taps towards the left, and then you're going to look towards the toe as it taps towards the right. You're kind of going to squeeze. We've done this before, but with the foot not tapping. So just kind of moving back and forth. Squeeze into the side body as you look one direction and then the other. One last time. Let's reach it towards the side. Pause there for a moment. Back through center this time. Swing your right leg out towards the right side of the mat. So you find gate pose here. Nice full inhale. Reach your arms. And then exhale. Reach your left hand down. You might even want your fingertips to a block if you need that. Then you're going to reach. We're in a little side plank, assisted by the knee. So press through the outer edge of your right foot towards the right side of the room and reach through your fingertips nice and long. Lift the side body rib cage. Reach one more time. And then exhale. Come back to a neutral tabletop pose. You can take a cat-cow to release from that if you'd like. And then again, extend your left foot. So opposite leg extends back behind you. Point through your toes. Engage the belly, so lift up, navel towards your spine. And then exhale. Tap the toes towards the right side of the room. Lift it back and tap it towards the left. So we're just moving back and forth. Squeeze into the side body. Just point through the toes. A little ballerina toes. And then just move with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more time. Inhale and exhale. This time, swing it all the way forward towards the front. Plant the foot nice and strong. Inhale, reach your arms. And then again, you're going to plant your right hand, maybe to a block if you need it, and reach through your fingertips toward the opposite side of the room. Nice, long, full body stretch. Feel your rib cage lifting towards the ceiling. Last breath. And then slowly release your hands down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out through your heels, left and right, left and right. So I want you to focus. This first set of down dogs, your weight shouldn't be over your hands. I really want you to try to send your chest towards the back of the mat. Even if that means that you need to bend your knees a little bit more if your hamstrings are super tight here. So just take this sensation, drop your shoulders away from your ears, and then try to sink your chest a little bit closer towards your knees. Get a nice flat spine. And then once you have your flat spine, then you can begin to work the heels a little bit closer towards the mat. Nice big inhale, lift your left leg towards the ceiling. Point through your toes and just let your right heel start to reach down towards the mat. Just take a moment here, let the blood drain out of the left leg. And then from here, you're going to spin over onto your right foot and step your left foot off the mat. So same thing we were just doing on tabletop, but now we're just finding a little side body stretch. Once again, find your breath. Inhale, come back through center, release your heels down to the mat, downward facing dog. Sink your shoulders away from your ears, sink your chest towards your knees. Inhale, lift your right leg up, point through your toes. So point through the toes nice and strong. Let your left heel release a little closer down towards the mat, get a nice calf stretch. And you're simply going to step your right foot back behind and roll over onto the outer edge of your left foot and find a nice side body stretch on the right. Find the breath. And then inhale back through center, downward facing dog once again. From here, take your feet wide on the mat, walk your hands back towards your feet. Grab opposite elbows once you're there and let yourself hang heavy. Again, you can still have a bend in your knees. If your hamstrings are super tight, that might be exactly where you need to be. Take some sways side to side, take some rolls of the head side to side. Kind of just let the body see where it's at today. Relax the jaw, relax the tongue against the back of the teeth. Just take a moment. Nothing to do here except breathe. And then slowly release your arms down. And we're going to ragdoll up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Let your arms hang heavy. And slowly, 1 inch at a time, round yourself up through to standing. Once you're up, inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, take your hands back behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze your palms. So eventually, you're trying to get your palms from just the fingers interlaced to your palms interlaced so that you're squeezing the elbows towards each other. Inhale, press your hands towards your heels, lift your chest. Press your hips forward towards the front of the room. And then exhale, take a bend in your knees, slight bend, and simply hinge forward. Let your arms start to come up and overhead. Just again, be here for a moment. You can have that bend in your knees. If your hamstrings are super tight, that's okay. Then we're going to take a bend into your right knee. Take your right shoulder to your right knee and find a twist. Reach your hands towards the right side of the room. Come back through center. Bend into your left knee, straighten through your right. Place your left shoulder on your left knee and reach your hands once again towards the opposite side of the room. Open through the shoulders, squeeze the navel towards the spine. Come back through center, release your hands down to the mat. Slowly, inhale, halfway lengthen, high up on your fingertips or hands can come to your shins, lengthen through your spine, nice flat spine. Exhale, fold forward. Place your hands down to the mat and rock yourself forward towards the front of the room, plank pose. From here, Wide-legged plank so your toes are still up towards the corners of the room. Two options for you here. Either drop your hips down, keeping the toes tucked under. You'll have a little hammock effect with the body. If that's too much for the lower back, you're going to drop your knees, untuck your toes, and take a little sway, side to side. Kind of a theme here. We're just swaying it out. As you're ready, wherever you're at, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Heels and toes about hip-width distance apart. Shoulders away from your ears. Nice big inhaling breath. Open up your mouth. Just let it go. All right. From here, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Just reach your toes towards the side of the room for a second, and then take a big circle, one direction, and then the other with your knee. Warm up through the hip joint. Inhale, lift your right leg up, straight back behind you, and then step it forward in between your hands. Drop your back knee to the mat. We're going to take a little half split flow here. So as you exhale, you're going to send your hips back over your knee. And then you're going to flex your front toes towards your nose. Inhale, come back towards your bent knee, come high up on your fingertips, lift your heart and squeeze your shoulders. So you should feel like a little cow sensation in the upper body as you pull your shoulders back. Exhale, fold it forward, pull your toes towards your nose, half splits. Inhale, come back through center, squeeze your shoulder blades down your back, lift. And exhale, pull it in, toes towards your nose. Inhale, reach. Shoulders away from your ears, lift, and exhale, fold it in. Last time, inhale, reach, lengthen up, and exhale, fold over your extended right leg. From here, just pause for a breath. If you want a little extra, tuck your left hand over your right toes and pull your toes towards your shin. From here, come back through center, bend into your forward knee. Bring your hands to your heart. Just take a moment here. So pause. Try to press the outer edge of your left hip forward. Then bring your right or your left elbow to your right knee and find prayer hands towards the side wall. So you're pressing your palms firmly into each other. Try to twist your sternum towards your hands, shoulders away from your ears. From here, if you'd like to advance, tuck your back toes under and you're going to lift your back knee off the mat. Squeeze the navel towards the spine, really extend out through the crown of your head. And press back through that back heel. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. All right, from here, release your hands down to the mat. If your back toes aren't tucked, you're going to go ahead and tuck them and step your back foot forward to meet the front. So again, you're just forward fold for a moment. Nice full inhale. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And then exhale, forward fold. Sink your seat bones up. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Shoulder blades away from your ears. So pull your navel towards your spine and sit your seat nice and low. Nice big inhaling breath. Exhale. Hinge your torso over your thighs and pause right here. So bellies to your thighs, shoulders away from your ears, fingers reaching towards the back of your mat. From here, if you'd like a challenge, you're going to try to rise up onto your toes. If you'd like one last little bit of challenge, reach your fingertips towards the front of the room. One more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, high up on your fingertips. Exhale, plant your hands. So same foot, step your left foot back towards the back of the room. This time, inhale, rise up, Crescent Pose. So left heel's back, press through your back heel nice and strong, but give me a slight micro bend in your back knee, so you're really engaging up through your quad. Square off your hips, right hip forward, left hip, or right hip back, left hip forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Sink in a little bit deeper to your forward knee. And we're going to take a little twist from here. So reach your right hand down your left leg and reach your left fingertips towards the back right hand corner of your mat. Take your balance here. So just find a spot to look at, to focus on. One last breath. From here, spin your back foot flat. Rotate the hips towards the left side of the room. And expand your arms towards the front and the back of the room. Warrior 2. Sink into your forward knee. Nice big inhaling breath. Again, we're going to move through a flow. So as you exhale, reverse your triangle. 2 straight legs, up and back. Exhale, bend back in. Inhale, reverse. We're gonna move with the breath. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. So each time you sink into that warrior two, inhale, reverse. Exhale, bend a little deeper into your warrior. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. From here, side angle pose. Elbow can come to your knee or hand inside your foot. Pause here for a moment. Use your elbow against your knee. If you have a need for a block, the block can come on the inside of your ankle. You find a little bit of an assistance right there. Really want you to focus. If you're hinged forward from here, it's really hard to open your shoulder. So I want you to focus on turning from your rib cage. So you're going to pull the underside of your rib cage towards the left side of the rib as you stack your shoulders, one on top of the other. One more breath here. Release both hands down. You're going to pivot towards the side wall. So both toes turn in towards each other. Hands may be on that block if that's what you need. If you have a little more space, maybe just fingertips to the mat. Nice big inhale, high up on your fingertips. Exhale, fold yourself in. So I want you to bring your weight forward towards your toes. It almost feels like you could fall forward, but instead you engage your tailbone up towards the ceiling to find a little bit more space through the back side of the legs. Inhale, reach out through the crown of your head, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself in. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold it in. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, fold. All right, if you have a block and you know you need it for balancing, you're gonna take your block with you and pivot forward towards the front of the room. Bounce your left foot up and off the tightrope. We got this really long sequence, but it's gonna be over here pretty soon, I promise. All right, take your block forward towards the front of the room. And then you're just gonna rise to stand on your right leg. So as you rise to stand on your right leg, take your right outer edge of your hip back. Just pause. You're in a standing L. From here, we're going to take a half moon. So right hand stays down to your block or to the mat if you have that. And simply open your left arm towards the ceiling. Flex strongly through your back foot. You should be one single line of energy from your heel out through the crown of your head. Slight micro bend in your standing knee to engage your quad. Shoulders away from your ears. Once you have the space, your bottom hand may or may not start to lift, might come to your heart. If you have that, play around with extending your top arm forward towards the front of the room. If you fall over, that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to practice. All right, release that down. Lift your left leg high towards the ceiling. Take a breath. And then exhale. Release your left foot off towards the right side of the mat. So left foot and right foot are about 6 to 12 inches apart. You can bend into your knees like a little plie. And then you're going to send your hips slightly towards the left side of the room. That might be enough. You might stay right there, hinged over top of your legs. If you'd like to work a little bit deeper, you're going to walk your hands over towards the right side of the room. Bend into your knees. Really press the hips towards the left side of the room. You should really feel this into your left glute. Reach your fingertips. You'll start to feel it in the left side shoulder and rib cage. One more breath. Slowly unravel yourself. Big toes back together, touch. Inhale, high up on your fingertips or hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment with your breath. Inhale, open up the mouth, let it go. All right, let's move on. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, high up on your fingertips or hands to your shins. Exhale, plant your hands, step, hop, or jump your feet back. You're welcome to move through a flow if you'd like. One single chaturanga push-up. Inhale to upward facing and exhale down to downward facing dog. Or you can just come straight here from your flow. You will always have your options to take what you need and leave what you don't. Let's take a nice big inhale breath. Open up the mouth. let it go. As always, if you need to drop to a child's pose at any point, you can take your knees out wide, big toes together to touch, and drop your forehead to the mat. So take what you need always. It's always a suggestion and never a command. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Let's take one more inhaling breath. Open up the mouth, let it go. Let's move on with the other side. Nice big inhaling breath. Lift your left leg towards the ceiling. And then step it forward in between your hands. From here, drop your back knee. Take the bend in and out of your forward knee. So we're inhaling high on the fingertips, pressing your hips as far forward towards the front of the room. Shoulders away from your ears. And exhaling back. Half splits. Inhale. Get that up dog sensation. Shoulder blades away. Lift your heart. Exhale. Fold it forward. Let's take a few more rounds. Inhale. Reach up. Lengthen. Exhale. Fold it in. Last 2 rounds. Inhale. Lift it high. Exhale. Lower it down. Forehead towards your shin. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. From here, just pause for a moment. Take your right hand over your left toes if you'd like to deepen the stretch for your calf. Inhale, lengthen the breath. Exhale to fold in a little deeper. Come back into the bend of your forward knee. Inhale, your hands right to your heart. Press your left hip back, your right hip pulls forward. Right elbow to your left knee, find your twist. Press firmly through your palms, engage your navel towards your spine. So again, you might just stay right here. If you'd like to advance, you're going to tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. Press firmly through your palms, through into your elbow. That's where you're going to get deeper into your twist. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Release your hands down to the mat. If your back toes aren't tucked, go ahead and tuck them under. Step your back foot forward to meet the front. Inhale. High up on your fingertips, right hands to your shins. Exhale. Forward fold. Sink your seat, rise up. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Shoulder blades away from your ears, zip up through your core. So squeeze the lower rib cage in as if you were having a big bear hug right around your belly. Shoulders away from your ears and reach through your fingertips. This time we're going to take a twist. So hands come to your heart, left elbow to your right knee. Press firmly through your palms. If you'd like to expand your arms 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, you're welcome to take that. If you'd like to take a wrap, or even a full bind, reaching back behind for your opposite fingertips, you're welcome to take that. Take one more breath wherever you're at. Inhale, back to a chair. Sink your seat. Inhaling breath. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. Right elbow to your left knee. Press firmly through your palms. So once again, you can take an expansion, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. If you have a wrap, you might take that. If you have a full bind, you might grab for your opposite fingertips and twist yourself deeper. Last breath. Exhale. Fold yourself in. Inhale. Halfway to lengthen. Hands to your shins or fingertips to the mat. Exhale. Forward fold. Left foot stays forward. Right foot's going to step back. Bend into your forward knee. Inhale. Rise up. Crescent pose. Pull your left hip back. Right hip pulls forward. Big inhale breath. Sink a little bit deeper into your bent knee. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to take that little twist. Left hand releases back for your right thigh. Reach your right arm towards the back left hand corner of your space. Sink a little bit deeper into your forward knee and press your right hip forward towards the front of the room. One more breath. Find your balance. And then inhale, open up, warrior 2. Turn your back foot flat, stack your hips over your shoulders over top of each other, and then sink into your forward knee. Find your breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper. We're going to move through a flow. Inhale, reverse your triangle up and back. Reach your fingertips towards the back of the room. Exhale, bend back in, warrior 2. So every time you come through, inhale, reverse. Exhale, bend a little bit deeper. Inhale, reverse it up and back. Exhale, perhaps your stance widens just a millimeter or 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, bend. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Pause for a moment here. And then find a side angle pose. Elbow can come to your knee or hand inside your foot, maybe to a block. So again, take notice from here. If you are down here and your shoulders are squared down and your eyes are looking kind of out there towards the corner of your mat and your shoulder is having a hard time getting open, I really want you to rise up a little bit higher, maybe on your fingertips, maybe on your block, maybe even your elbow to your knee. It shouldn't be hard to get this twist. So that's where you're going to have to be, high up on this block or on your fingertips. You should have one single straight line all the way through your body. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Find your breath. Sink a little bit deeper into your forward knee. And then release your hands down to the mat. Take your block with you if you need it. Bring your hands out to the block or out in front of you. Take a moment in a wide legs. And then you're going to take your arms back behind you, just like we did in our opening warm-up set. Hands back behind you, interlace your fingers. Endeavor, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but try to pull your palms back towards each other until eventually they touch. Squeeze your shoulders away from your ears instead of letting them drop around the neck. I really want you to extend your hands towards the ceiling. One last breath. All right, from here, you're going to reach for your block, take it with you towards the front of your mat. So again, you're going to walk your block towards the front, come to stand on your left leg and lift your right leg up. We're only here for a moment, so really flex through your back foot, nice and strong. Shoulders away from your ears, and then maybe get light in your fingertips. We're taking a half moon from here, so left hand stays down to the block. You're going to pivot your hips open towards the side wall. So just take a moment here, pause, and then lift. So the reason that we focused on rotating the shoulders while we were here was so that as we came through into standing, we already knew where our shoulders should be. Flex firmly through your back foot, stack your shoulders. If you have a little bit more, get light in your fingertips. Maybe your hand comes to your heart. Maybe your fingers reach forward, eventually towards the front of the room. If you fall over, that's okay. If you need to take your hand back down, that's okay too. Find strength, find stability. From here, release your hands down to your block or the mat. Just lift your right leg nice and tall. And then we're going to take that twist. So take your right leg towards the left side of the room. Bend into both of your knees and really send your hips towards the right side of the room. This might be exactly where you stay. You might leave your fingertips on your block. That's okay. If you want a little bit more, start to walk your fingertips towards the far left-hand corner of the room. So your hips are sending themselves right. Your fingertips walk themselves left. Nice big inhale and breath. Exhale, see where you can twist a little bit deeper. One more breath. Slowly release yourself back. Bring your big toes back together to touch. Inhale, halfway to lengthen. Maybe fingertips to the mat or hands to your shins. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive all the way up and overhead. And then exhale, your hands to your heart. Take a moment in your mountain pose. Just pause here. So feet together, kneecaps engaged, and then lift from your lower pelvic floor all the way up into your rib cage. Lengthen down through your tailbone and pull your shoulders down your back. Then I want you to feel reaching through the crown of your head so that you can feel like you're growing at least an inch or two taller. Just pause here for a moment. Then we're going to take a tree pose. So keep your left leg strong and sturdy. Bend your right knee and bring your foot inside. Maybe the calf, maybe it just needs a little kickstand. That's okay too. And then you're going to eventually, maybe, lift your foot up. Your foot can come inside the thigh eventually. If you have a half lotus, you're welcome to take your foot to the right front edge of your hip and let your knee drop towards the mat. So just kind of taking what you have here. Find one spot out in front of you that isn't moving. That's your drishti, your focal point. If you have all of that and your balance is nice and strong, then lift your arms. If you have all that, maybe lift your eyes. If you want another extra challenge, we're going to take what I call swaying tree. You're going to reach your right hand down your right leg, kind of sliding it towards the knee, and then reaching your fingertips towards the far side of the room. Let's take a moment here. Find your balance. Come back through center. Your arms can reach or your hands can come to your waistline. And then reach either your knee, if you'd like a challenge, reach your toes. Zip up through your core. See where that allows you to lift your foot a little higher. One more breath. Exhale. Release it down. Shake it all out. Let it go. We're going to come back to a mountain pose. So again, glue down through your feet. So really focus down into all three corners of your feet. Glue up through the thighs, into the lower rib cage, into your shoulder blades, and then reach up through the crown of your head. Shift your weight and lift your left leg. So again, maybe just a little kickstand. Maybe inside the thigh or the calf. Just never exactly on the kneecap, the knee area itself. We want to make sure we're protecting our knees. So wherever you're at, find your balance. Find that one spot out in front of you that isn't moving. Once you're ready, lift your fingertips towards the ceiling. Perhaps your eyes lift. And then perhaps, if you'd like to take the challenge, drop your left hand to your left knee, slide it down, and reach your fingertips up and over towards the opposite side of the room. Squeeze your foot and your thigh into each other. One more breath. Either hands reach or hands to your waistline. Extend your knee forward if you'd like the challenge. Extend your toes. Zip up through the core. Lift your leg a little higher. And then release. Give everything a shake out. Let it go. And then meet at the top of the mat. Nice big inhale. Reach your arms. And exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Halfway lengthen the eye on your fingertips. Exhale. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back. And heel toe your right foot out towards the right side of the mat. You can drop your back knee to the mat if you'd like. If you need a block for your elbows, make sure you have one close by. So your elbows can come down to the block perhaps, but use your shoulder. Right shoulder is against your right knee to press it. Keep it pressed open. If you have a little more space, maybe come down to your elbows. If you want to have a little bit more, you might retuck your back toes and lift your knee off the mat. So just take what you need here. You're here for a few rounds of breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your forehead sink towards your wrists. And then simply breathe. Nice full inhales. Nice full exhales. All right, from here, you can stay on your elbows if you have that. If that's going to be a little too much, drop your hands down to the mat. So you're going to turn your right toes out about 10 degrees towards the side of the room, and then you're going to roll over onto the outer edge of your foot so that your knee goes out wide. So from here, maybe on your hand, left hand is going to reach for your knee. Then you're going to find a little twist, looking back towards your back toes. If you're on your elbow, you're simply looking over your shoulder. One more breath. From here, drop your hands to the mat. Heel toe your right foot across the line of the body and drop your shin. So from here, I personally like to tuck my toes, back toes under, kind of give my hips a little shift backwards towards the back of the mat. Nice full inhale, wherever you're at though, and then exhale. Forward fold. You might come to your elbows. Maybe your forehead comes down. Maybe your arms extend all the way forward. So if all of that is still too much for you, for your body, for your knees, if your knees start to hurt, then I'm going to have you turn around, lay onto your back, Take your right foot on top of your left quad and take your hands, wrap them around either your thigh or your shin, and then pull your knees towards your chest. And that's where you'll stay, figure four. So wherever you're at, whether you're in a pigeon or a figure four, just kind of be there for a few rounds of breath. Nowhere left to go, nothing left to do in this pose. It's just accept the fact that the body and the breath need to relax. Deep, long inhales, even deeper on your exhales. All right, if you're content where you're at, that's where you're going to stay. If you have any variation of a king pigeon, you're welcome to rise up onto your hands. Look back for your back foot. Maybe grab it with your hands on the inside or the outside. Eventually, maybe your foot might come into your elbow crease. Maybe you reach for opposite fingertips. If you have a full kingpin variation, you're welcome to take that as well. Just kind of see where you're at. 2 more rounds of breath. Wherever you're at, release your hands down to the mat. If you're in a pigeon pose, you're going to tuck your back toes and your hips up and back and give your right leg a shake out and let it go. If you're on your back in a figure four, you're just going to release your feet down and take some windshield wipers with your knees side to side. Then we're going to switch sides. So left leg steps forward in between your hands. Actually, let's take it here, right onto the outside. So if you were on your back, you're just going to roll over, find a tabletop, and step your foot forward to meet us. So you'll go from your tabletop and then simply step your foot forward to meet us. So left foot forward towards your hands, back knee can stay lifted, and then you're going to work down towards your elbows. Elbows might be on the block. If you want to keep it a little bit extra, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the mat. And then just be here for a few moments. Come back to your breath. Nice full inhales, nice full exhales. Take the tension out of your shoulders, out of your jaw, and simply be with your breath. All right, from here, you're welcome to stay on your elbows. If you need a little more space, come up onto your hands. Turn your left toes out about 45 degrees and roll over onto the outer edge of your foot. If you have the space, maybe your hand goes for your knee. Maybe your eyes will reach back towards your toes. If you're on your elbow, then you're just looking back over your shoulder. From here, pigeon or figure four. So walk your foot across the line of the body for pigeon. If you're going for a figure four, just roll over onto your back. It's the left foot on top of your right quad. So if you're here, you can tuck your back toes under. Once again, kind of shift your hips back a couple inches to get yourself a little deeper into this. And let your elbows come back to the mat. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat and you release all the way in. If you're going for that figure four, you're simply, once again, going to be on your back, left ankle on top of your right, hands thread through either for your shin or for your thigh if you don't have room to grab for the shin. And then simply pull. Pull your knees towards your chest. So allow yourself to be here. A few rounds of inhales and exhales. Take the tension out of the jaw, the face, let your tongue just gently rest against the roof of the mouth. Let yourself calm from the mind first, and then move that calm all the way down through the body to your hips. All right, so again, you're welcome to stay exactly where you're at. If you're in a figure four or if you're in a pigeon and you're completely contented right there, that's where you're going to stay. If you took any variation of king pigeon, you're going to press up into your hands, look back for your back foot, and pull your heel in towards your seat. Okay, you can take any sort of variation you want. Foot can come into your elbow, you can reach for your fingertips. You might just need to pull your heel in towards your seat. That's okay too. Just be there for a few rounds of breath. Let's take 2 more rounds. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. Once you're here, once you're done with that last round of breath, release your hands down if you're in pigeon. Tuck your back toes under, send your hips up and back. Give yourself a little kick, a little shake. Let all that go. If you're on your back in a figure four, you're going to release your feet down, take some windshield wipers. Then you're going to rock up to your seat. Everyone will take their seat. Pads of your feet together, knees go out wide. So from here, pull the pads of your feet in towards you. We're only here for a few breaths. So a nice inhale, lift, and then exhale, pull yourself in. You can use your elbows against your inner thighs or your calves to push them down towards the mat a little bit more. Nice full inhaling breath. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach, lengthen from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lengthen the breath. Exhale, fold it in. So from here, come back up. Bring your knees back in towards each other. Take your feet wide and just give ourselves a little windshield wiper, just like we did kind of right at the beginning of class. Just side to side, kind of let that go. All right, from here, find a boat pose. So you're on your sit bones. You're going to roll slightly back, but you're not going to round into the lower back. So try to stay lifted. Nice flat spine. Inhale. Lift your knees in line with your ankles, or your ankles in line with your knees. And then reach your fingertips towards your heels. If you have a little bit more and you don't round into your spine in order to straighten your legs, you need to lift your spine if you're straightening your legs. So if you start rounding, just come back to right here. So just take a moment and pause. And then we're going to lower just halfway down. And inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Let's do 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. All right. From here, release all the way down onto your back. Pull your knees up and into your chest and give yourself a big squeeze. You can take a happy baby, either grabbing for the inner or outer arches of your feet. Take a couple little sways side to side. If you have a little extra, you might even want to send one leg straight and then the other as you rock. Kind of just seeing where you are today. All right. From here, plant your feet into the mat, hip width distance apart. Place your hands flat down onto the mat, so palms face down, biceps lifted, triceps into the mat. Inhale, lift your hips. We're just going to do little pulses from here. So you're simply going to pulse your seat up. So up, 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 up. Keep your knees hip width distance apart. Squeeze your inner thighs. And then slowly lower down. If you have a block and you think that's going to assist you, place it between your knees. That can give you a little bit of place to concentrate on by squeezing. Inhale, lift your hips back up, and then you're going to pulse once again. So just pulse, pulse, up, up, up. Squeeze the block, up, up, up. Press your palms down into the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades underneath you. Keep this going. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself back down. Take the block out if you took it. Take your feet wide. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. From here, come back through to center. Drop your knees in towards each other and just let your arms be by your sides. So just let yourself relax here. Try to pull your navel slightly towards your spine so that the entire lower back is pressed down into the mat. Just let yourself relax here for a moment. All right, we've got a little bit more core work to do. So from here, you're going to lift your shoulders off the mat. If you have a block, maybe not. If you don't, you're going to have your arms towards the back of the room. That's a little bit too much, just hands right back behind your head, but your elbows are going to stay nice and wide. And then you're just going to lift your feet. So we're not going to add the arms right away. So you're just keeping your arms out or your arms lifted towards the back corner of the room. We're kind of bicycling the legs. Your shoulders, maybe shoulder blades almost all the way off the mat. All right, from here, do take your hands back behind your head. And we're going to add the elbows. Lift your left shoulder, elbow to your knee, and then come back. Drop the shoulders. Lift your right elbow towards your left knee. Lift your shoulder, and then come back. Let's take a couple times. Try to lift the shoulder blade completely off the mat. So don't just use the knee in towards the chest. Let's take one more set. Then that's it. All right, release yourself down. Feet wide on the mat. Take some windshield wipers side to side. Nice big inhaling breath. Open up the mouth. Just let it go. All right, come back through center. Tense your knees in towards each other. Chin to your chest, navel slightly towards your spine. Let it go. All right, from here, pull your knees up and into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Really pull the knees down and in towards your chest. So really feel the belly engaged into the thighs. From here, you're going to take your right leg over top of your left. Eagle wrapping your legs. Shift your hips slightly to the right. So your right knee's on top. Hips shift slightly to the right. And your knees are going to fall towards the left. Keep your right shoulder flat to the mat. And then extend your eyes over towards your fingertips. Notice where your knees are. If you need a little bit of support underneath your knees, that's okay. Get a block underneath there. And then look over towards your right fingertips. If you don't need a block, or if you get deep enough into this so that you can start lowering the block, that's okay too. Eventually, perhaps your knees come all the way down towards the mat. If this is too intense, simply release your left leg long down the mat. We'll always have options. If this is still too intense, stack both of your knees, just one on top of the other instead of crossing the knees. Nice full inhale, lengthen your breath. Exhale, twist. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale and exhale. Last round. All right, come back through center. Shift your hips back into the center line. If you took the eagle wrap, left leg's gonna go over top of the right. Shift your hips slightly towards the left and let your knees go right. So as your knees go right, maybe it needs a block underneath them, maybe not. Simply let your knees drape towards the opposite side of the room. Eyes towards your left fingertips. Nice full inhale and breath. Exhale, twist. Again, if that's too much, you can release your leg long or stack both knees one on top of the other. You always have options. Full deep inhale. Exhale, see where you can release a little bit deeper. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. All right, come back through center. Pull your knees up and into your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. All right, from here, as always, you always have your options for your final inversion. Option 1 is hands right underneath your seat so that you have a little shelf for your hips. So there's not really any working to keep your legs lifted. Option 2, a block right underneath your seat to lift your hips higher than your heart. Option 3 is a shoulder stand and a plow pose, lifting your feet towards the ceiling. That might all be plenty for you. If you would like a little bit more relaxation, you are always, always welcome to take legs up the wall, placing your hip right up next to it, and then swinging your feet up towards the ceiling and finding Shavasana, arms there, legs up the wall. So you always have your options, no matter where you need or want to be. If you took a shoulder stand and your hips are over your shoulders, you have more flexibility, you're welcome to begin to drop your toes towards the back of the room and take a plow pose. So toes down to the mat perhaps, elbows and shoulders worked underneath you so that your head is not taking all the weight. Instead, it's distributed equally between your elbows and your shoulders. From here, if you'd like a little more, you can bend your knees on either side of your ears and take an ear pressure pose. As you're ready, if your leg's up the wall, you're welcome to stay there. Otherwise, if you took one of those other variations, simply begin to work yourself down. If you'd like any props for your Shavasana, you're welcome to grab for your blanket. A little jelly roll underneath your knees can be pretty nice. Arms by your sides, feet open wide on the mat. So as always, if you'd like an extra long Shavasana, you are always welcome to pause the video and simply take your time with your Shavasana. Otherwise, we're simply here for a few moments. Let yourself relax into it. Final Shavasana. As you're ready, slowly bring your mind back to the breath. Deepen your inhale, deepen your exhale. Give your head a gentle rock side to side. You can wring out through your wrists and your ankles. And then reach your arms long all the way up towards the back of the room. Point through your toes so you're one single long line of energy. If you're on your back, if you're on legs up the wall, you're simply going to reach your arms up. And then wherever you're at, pull your knees into your chest. So if your legs up the wall, knees just come in, you're going to give yourself a little bear hug. If you're flat on your mat for Shavasana, you're also just going to squeeze in. Wherever you're at from there, take a turn to your right or to your left. Just find a fetal pose. Let your head be cradled by your arm. Just take a moment there and pause. And then as you're ready, use the strength in your arms to come up and into a neutral seated position. Once you're there, bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Just take a moment here. Feel the energy, the sensation between your palms. Let's take a nice big inhaling breath. And then simply open up the mouth, let it go. As always, thank you for letting me guide your practice. Thank you for being here. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining us. Do make sure we are going to be having a Yoga Nidra coming up on March 15th. It is the new moon Nidra that we're doing. So make sure you join us for that. We will be having a bunch of candles, so make sure you get your candles out too. It'll be a nice little meditation for you. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much. See you soon.